That means some carbon is left. So suppose that is X. So that is 44 plus X, right? So X is 12, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this concludes our law of conservation of mass. Now, question is whether there is any exception, as we have a lot of exceptions in chemistry. Is there any exception of this law? So answer is yes. There are some processes in which some mass is converted into energy and sometimes energy is converted into mass, right? Hello. There's an exception where some mass is converted into energy and sometimes energy is converted into mass. Some nuclear reactions are there. We call them nuclear reactions. In some nuclear reactions, total mass does not remains conserved. Instead, some mass is converted to energy or some energy is converted to mass. Right? कुछ nuclear reactions होते हैं where mass does not remain constant, वो change हो जाता है, right? In fact, many of you might have heard of this reaction, E is equal to mc square. Einstein's mass energy relationship. If some mass is converted completely into energy, m is the mass and c is speed of light. So m masses is consumed into is converted into energy completely. It produces energy equal to, given by this formula, E is equal to m into c square. M is mass and c is speed of light, right? But together, if you modify this law, they say the modified law is total of mass and its energy equivalent remains constant. Energy equivalent remains constant. So mass अकेले का गारंटी नहीं है, but mass और energy equivalent जो है, वो आप कंसिडर कर लो तो टोटल उनका दोनों का सेम रहता है. क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
So total of mass and its energy equivalent remains constant, right? Now, this is first law. The next law is law of definite proportion. The law of constant proportion. Law of constant proportion or law of definite proportion. This deals with composition of compound. Law of definite proportion or law of constant proportion. It deals with composition of any compound. What does this statement say? Any compound contains same elements in definite proportion by mass, irrespective of method by which it is formed. What? Any compound will contain same elements in definite proportion by mass, irrespective of method by which it is formed. Now, for example, if you take tea, you might have tasted some salt also in tea, right? So same thing, same name, tea, but may have different ingredients and again proportion may be different. But in Compounds, this does not happen. If you take pure water, irrespective of the source from where you have collected it, it will contain hydrogen and oxygen only, and that too in the ratio of 1:8 by mass. For example, pure water, a sample of pure water will contain hydrogen and oxygen only, that too in the ratio of 1:8 by mass, irrespective of the source of water, irrespective of the source. So a sample of pure water, you might take a distilled water or you might get it from somewhere. If it is pure water, I'm not talking about impure water, right? Water which you collect from a tap is not a pure water in terms of chemistry. It has some minerals dissolved in it. But when I say pure water, then it means distilled water, right? So if there is a sample of pure water, it will definitely contain only hydrogen and oxygen. It will contain hydrogen and oxygen only, right? And that too in the ratio of 1:8 by mass, right?
Yes.
Or if you collect the sample of carbon dioxide, right? You can prepare carbon dioxide by burning carbon in excess of oxygen, right? Or by decomposition of calcium carbonate, you can obtain carbon dioxide. So whatever be the source or method of preparation of carbon dioxide will always contain only two elements, and those are carbon and oxygen. And that too, they will be combined in the ratio of 3:8, right? Irrespective of the method by which it is prepared. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So this is law of definite proportion, right? Now, I'll give you two interesting conclusions. The first one, if carbon and oxygen combine in the ratio of 3:8 to form carbon dioxide. If 6 grams of carbon reacts, then 6 grams of carbon will react with how much oxygen? 16 grams of oxygen. What? If they combine in the ratio of 3:8. So if 6 grams carbon is there, then it will combine with 16 grams of oxygen. 24 grams of carbon will combine with how much oxygen? Say. Say.
Sir, 56 grams.
24 grams of carbon will combine with 64 grams of oxygen. Sorry?
64 grams.
64 grams of oxygen, right? Okay. The second conclusion, which I want you to remember, is for the same statement. this one. If समझो 10 gram, not 10 gram, 9 gram, let us take. If 9 gram of carbon is burned in presence of excess oxygen, that means lot of oxygen is there. Huh? I have 9 gram of powdered carbon, suppose something is there, huh? And I'm burning it in presence of excess of oxygen. Then how much oxygen will be consumed? There's a lot of oxygen available, but only 9 gram of carbon is there, right? So how much oxygen will be consumed from that excess oxygen?
Sir, 24 grams.
Exactly 24 gram. Presence of excess oxygen, only 24 gram of oxygen will be used. The rest will be left unused. Okay. Is it clear? Go ahead, respond.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Now, based on this, let me solve a few questions. It is known that nitrogen and hydrogen combine in the ratio of 14:3 by mass to form ammonia, right? Nitrogen and hydrogen, there are two elements. They combine in the fixed ratio, that is 14:3 by mass to form a compound known as ammonia, right? Now, if in a vessel 48 gram of nitrogen and 4.5 gram of hydrogen are made to react given one of the reactant is consumed completely. Find which of the two, that is nitrogen and hydrogen, is consumed. Is consumed completely. Check. Got the question? See, it is known that nitrogen and hydrogen combine in the ratio of 14:3 by mass to form ammonia. If in a vessel 48 gram of nitrogen and 4.5 gram of hydrogen are made to react. Now, given one of the reactant is consumed completely, nitrogen or hydrogen, दोनों में से कोई तो एक completely consume हो गया. You have to say which of the two, nitrogen and hydrogen, is consumed. कौन सा बच जाएगा और कौन सा कंज्यूम हो जाएगा कंप्लीटली, बताओ. से दिमाग लगाओ. Which of the two, nitrogen or hydrogen, gets consumed? हेलो, आ रहा है समझ में क्वेश्चन?
Sir, hydrogen will get consumed completely.
Hydrogen will get consumed completely, right? Now, आया बाकी लोगों को समझ में? हेलो,
Yes, sir.
sure ना? Why? 14 and 3. They will always combine the ratio 14:3. Okay. So 4.5 gram, let us assume nitrogen is consumed completely. Let us assume, let's make an assumption. 48 gram is consumed. So 48 versus will combine with X gram of oxygen, hydrogen. This should be same as 14:3. So X here is 48 into 3 by 14. So this is 24 and 7, 72 by 7. So we require 10.3 gram of hydrogen, which is not available with us. That means nitrogen is not consumed. Nitrogen is in excess, right? I have made an assumption. Suppose nitrogen gets consumed. So 48 gram of nitrogen will combine with X gram of hydrogen. So 48 is to X is equal to 14 is to 3. Solving this, we get X is equal to 10.3 gram. That means 48 gram of nitrogen will require 10.3 gram of hydrogen. But इतना hydrogen तो था ही नहीं, तो इतना nitrogen consume हो ही नहीं सकता, right? So it is 4.5 gram of hydrogen which is consumed, right? So this was first question. Now, find amount of nitrogen left in the vessel. Left unreacted. Find amount of nitrogen left unreacted. कितना नाइट्रोजन बच गया, रिएक्ट नहीं किया? हेलो, फाइंड अमाउंट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन लेफ्ट अनरिएक्टेड. सी, हाइड्रोजन कंज्यूम हो गया कंप्लीटली, तो नाइट्रोजन बच गया ना?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो बताओ नाइट्रोजन कितना बच गया?
Sir, 27 grams.
27 ग्राम इज लेफ्ट. लेट्स सी कैसे आया. तो 4.5 gram of hydrogen is completely consumed. So X gram of nitrogen will combine with 4.5 gram of hydrogen, but this ratio should remain 14:3. So X is equal to what? So from here we'll get X by 4.5 is equal to 14 divided by 3. So X is 14 into 4.5 divided by 3. So this is 1.5 or this is 21 gram. So 21 gram of nitrogen is consumed, right? So how much is left? Starting में 48 gram लिया था. Therefore, amount of nitrogen left is 48 लिया था, 21 गया, 27 gram is left. So what is amount of nitrogen left in the sample? 27 gram of nitrogen is left, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, next question is find the amount of ammonia formed. Find amount of ammonia formed. Find amount of ammonia formed.
$31.3 grams of ammonia.
31.3? No.
Sir, 25.5 gram.
25.5 gram. You yourself said that 27 gram is left. तो टोटल लिया कितना था? 52.5 लिया था, उसमें 27 नाइट्रोजन रह गया, तो बचा हुआ अमोनिया फॉर्म. और फॉरगेट अबाउट इट. हाउ मच हाइड्रोजन इज कंज्यूम्ड? 4.5 ग्राम. हाउ मच नाइट्रोजन इज कंज्यूम्ड? 21. So total 25.5 gram of ammonia. No?
Understood, sir.
No. There is a term percentage composition of a compound that comes from here only, law of definite proportion. So percentage composition. Percentage composition means what? Of given mass of a compound, what percentage is any definite, any element is the percentage composition. For example, let me take an example. Suppose, say, a compound of, let me take, a compound of calcium, carbon, and oxygen contains 40 gram of calcium, 12 gram of carbon, and 48 gram of oxygen. Find percentage composition of compound. Right? Find percentage composition of compound. क्वेश्चन समझा या वापस एक्सप्लेन करूं? See, there is a compound which contains 3 elements: calcium, carbon, and oxygen. Right? And masses भी दिए हुए हैं. Right? कुछ सैंपल लिया मैंने, उसमें 12 ग्राम 40 ग्राम कैल्शियम है, 12 ग्राम कार्बन है, and 48 ग्राम ऑक्सीजन. You have to find percentage composition of the compound. Means what? कितना परसेंट कैल्शियम है, कितना परसेंट कार्बन है, और कितना परसेंट ऑक्सीजन है. समझा क्वेश्चन या वापस बताऊं? प्ले करो. मतलब एनिमेशन चाहिए मुझे. Say, what is percentage of calcium in the compound?
40%.
40%. What is he?
40% of calcium.
Yes, correct. How? 40 gram is calcium, right? So if I have to calculate percentage of calcium, so percentage of calcium, what is the mass of calcium? 40 gram out of total. How much is there? 40 plus 12 plus 48. 40 plus 12 plus 48 into 100. That is 40%. So it's actually 100. So percentage composition itself is total is 100. That's why it is 40. This is 12 and 48 grams. So percentage of calcium is 40%. Percentage of carbon is 12. Percentage of carbon is 12. Percentage of oxygen is 48. Right? So actually coincidence है. Total 100 ही आ रहा था. तो वही 40% calcium है, 12% carbon है, and 48% is oxygen. Right? Now, if I ask you, find the amount of calcium, carbon, and oxygen in 12 gram. 25 gram, 2.5 gram of the sample. तो उसी कंपाउंड का 2.5 ग्राम लेके आया मैं. कितना? सेम कंपाउंड का 2. ऑन नहीं हो रहा.
दिखाई नहीं रहा कुछ. अभी मैं पूरा बना के किया, दूसरी फाइल खोला, फिर फाइल खोला.
2 मिनट वेट करके करेंगे. हाँ. So if the same compound is there, its sample is 2.5 gram of its sample is taken. You have to find the amount of calcium, carbon, and oxygen in that sample. Got the question?
So can you explain the question again?
See, same compound which contains this, and this of it. Now, its small sample is taken. Sample size is only 2.5 gram. So it will contain some amount of calcium, some amount of carbon, some amount of oxygen. No?
Yes, sir.
So you have to calculate amount of carbon, oxygen, and calcium in 2.5 gram of the sample of that compound.
Sir, there is 0 gram of carbon.
0 gram. 0 gram means nothing is there.
Yes, sir.
2.5 gram will contain something. Na? See, it's a simple thing. It should contain 40% calcium. So calcium amount will be how much? 2.5 gram ka sample is there and contains 40 grams. Sorry, 40%. So 2.5 ka 40% is how much? 100 cancel. So 1 gram calcium. Now carbon. Carbon will be 12% of this. 100. This is 40. So 0.3 gram. Right? 0.3 gram. Now remaining is oxygen. So oxygen is either you calculate 48% of 2.5 or remaining actually 1.2 gram. 1 gram calcium, 0.3 gram carbon. That is 1.3 gram. So from the total that is 2.5, how much is left? 1.2. Or you calculated 48. 2.5 ka 48%. So this is 40 plus 1.2. So 1.2 gram of oxygen. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So I'll stop here. That's all in law of definite proportion. Next class में मिलते हैं. आगे ले जाते हैं. चलो I'll stop.